Hey guys, how are you doing wherever you are? Thank you so much for always creating time for our beautiful show brought to you by me and Benjamin. Now, I believe by now that we are one big family, a family through friendship, okay? And talking about friendship, guys, you need to understand one thing about friendship. Friendship, as it is said, is like street lights. And you know something about street lights? Street lights do not reduce the journey, but they make you navigate easily. So our essence here is to make you navigate through life easily. Okay, and today is no exemption. And talking about navigating through life easily, ladies and gentlemen, all of us are a product of culture, our various cultures, and we have certain things and beliefs that we've learned from our various communities, either through life or either concerning life or marriage. And we've held on them so tightly that in the process, they are complicating our lives when it comes to matters marriage and dating. So today, we want to talk about those cultural biases that may complicate your equation when it comes to dating. And that is why Benjamin is here. Hey, Benjamin.
Hello. And there's so much that we can talk about the grouping.
Yeah.
Where we are born, the ethnicity, where we are brought up. There's so much we can talk about that today we will just be chipping away.
Yeah.
One at a time, one at a time. In the time past, I've told you when your parent takes a hard line against you marrying from a certain community, because from his people, that group is bad, all of it.
Yeah.
Nobody from that group region is good.
Yes.
And they are stubborn. What is the answer? I'm not marrying for you. Excuse me. You married your part and you got children, me included. Now, let me do my own marrying. Thank you for your opinion. But I would rather proceed as I had planned. I just wanted to honor you as my parent. I was not asking for your approval. I just wanted to inform you lest you get surprised by outsiders that your son got married. You shall respect parents, basically as parents, but you shall honor and befriend them as much as they allow it, according to their maturity, according to how much they respect you in return. Right. You shall not give unilateral respect, otherwise you'll be dictated and crushed. Let me remind you, if you submit to a flawed authority, you'll be crushed.
True.
Thank you for being submissive and respectful. Check who you are bowing before.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you say, that's my mother, there's nothing I can do, you will never, you will never move past that. Let God be only God.
Yeah.
Not other demigods, the name of authorities who are dictating your life subtly. And now you have a good girl who could have made your life happy, could have taken you to your destiny, who could have improved your life, and just because you're father. Some men died and they cursed before they died. Now, dealing with the curses of dead. Our grandpa said, if anybody ever. There's a verse I want you to hold on until you die, because it is your salvation. John 1:12. Those who have been born, not by blood or by the will of man or by parenting or by the natural biology, but by the will of God. Once you become a child of God, that lineage becomes only biological, and that's all. But your history and your destiny comes from now you being a child of God. Please hold on to that. Yeah. Remember Proverbs 26:2, that undeserved curses will not settle, will not have effect. Remind yourself that there's no curse against Jacob, no charms against Israel. You need to have another script, brother. If you stick to a sick script, you never live a happy life. Yeah. I don't know how much I can emphasize this to save people. I just don't know. The reason I need to say that is because I'm born from a community myself that is very superstitious. Right? And I don't want to tell you what I started to despise their superstition as from the time I was a child. Because the witch doctors themselves are poor and miserable. They're sickly, they have no money, they look depressed. Now, they're trying to treat you. The treater is sick. Even before I learned how to reason, I despised them. You know, you are taken at night carrying a chicken to be treated, and an old man is jumping over you without innerwear. There is no decency in witchcraft, my brother. No manners. No courtesy. Imagine a live chicken and you are being beaten with a live chicken. They take a tin and fill it with charcoal and ignite fire and it's smoky, and then they're taking it around you, you're coughing like you're dying. And apparently that's part of the shenanigans to make the medicine go in. Surely. And then you're told to close your eyes and sip something from the horn of a bull, and you don't know what it is. It's a concoction of, you don't know whether it's cow dung or what, just dark things. Now, that's... You see those advertisements, Muganga kutoka Zanzibar, kutoka Kitui. It's and you have no evaluation of to check whether he's doing. You know, when you go to a doctor, you can check online whether the medication they gave you is real, whether it is suitable for what you are suffering from. When you go to a witch doctor, where do you cross check? They can do weird things on you. One mother took a girl to be treated so that she's not to be guarded against witches. Now the old man said, in order for the medication to work, he has to sleep with the girl. Luckily, the brothers of the girl learned of the rich one. They stormed the home, rescued their sister. Leave witchcraft alone. It's dirty, it's disrespectful. You can't control. You have no. It's filthy. I think it's an embodiment of how poverty and satanism work. Occult world, non-decency, no cleanliness. You are at the mercies of whoever. So my people are very superstitious, and they kept passing laws and saying, if you do this, you'll be bewitched. If you do this, you'll never have a child. If you marry from this community, you'll never be happy. You keep on divorcing. If you go against the rules of this, so a lot of superstition and the curses and the bad omen and it was so limiting, man. I think one reason I took long to marry is to figure it out. The guys were married before me and got it wrong.
Yes.
My father used to be very biased against some communities. From their day, a certain community was bad. Mm-hmm. But they were saying you should marry from your community. Himself, he had married severally wrong, without getting it right. Gotten involved badly without getting it right. My brothers were marrying from the same community and getting it wrong. So I was countering every time. Avoid this community and then you're married from your community and you're getting it wrong. Brother, even when you don't know what is right, learn to identify what is wrong.
Yeah.
You may not know the name of this obstacle, what I'm holding. But if I tell you it's an orange, but you know an orange, you can tell me, I don't know what it is, but it is not an orange.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know what is right does not mean you can't identify what's wrong. Somebody can be teaching you that you cannot marry from other communities. They married from their own communities, and it didn't work. So there's a lot we can discuss about the interference of your culture. Today I wanted to pick one strand and warn you against. Whereas that one is superstition, that one is witchcraft, tribalism, ethnicity against this tribe, but then that's again, and I told you how irrational it is for a black person to discriminate against another black person, and to a white person, both of you are black. No, both of you are black. What are you fighting about? No, this one is from this side of the country, me, I'm from their side. Okay, those guys are like, but all of you are very black. Yeah. So I wanted to tell you that there's a lot unconscious and quiet shaping and culturing and coding and you are being carved by your culture quietly. Mm-hmm. Today I wanted to pick this element. Those beliefs that you internalized for growing among people who hold them, and you never question them, you align your life according to them, and they end up holding you back. The beliefs about marriage and dating and love. One of those beliefs is that you should always, generally I want to remind you that African society are very patriarchal, male-dominated, and many of the traditions about family came from the male-dominated mindset, so that they have safeguarding the dominance of the man, the subduing the woman.
Yeah.
Let me remind you, the order was this: man, child, woman. Woman was below child. Take time to swallow that.
Wow.
People don't admit it. But the children are more important to the man. They gave him a sense of prestige. Yeah. They gave him workforce to labor in his farm. In Jewish, Eastern, and African society, there's so much similarity. In fact, by reading the Old Testament in the Bible, you can get a lot of sense, because the Jewish culture and the African culture were very familiar. Were very, they shared a lot. So men took pride of their children. They never took pride of their woman. They never showed their woman in front of the other men. Look at how beautiful my wife is now. Look at how many children I have. When you pass exams, your father would brag more about you than they brag about how well the woman suits him. And women are always replaceable. In some cultures up to today, divorce is the man to announce alone. It is him to decide. It's a unilateral decision. And you're given the divorce as a woman, and that's all. There's no culture in the world that encouraged one woman to have many men. But they all
Encourage the men.
You get it? As you study your culture and try to safeguard culture, remember it came from a very oppressive history of women being subdued. What is about the worst thing? Both societies subduing women. Remember what I told you. The economies are always behind.
Yeah.
Without having to check inside, just check outward. Wherever women are oppressed, the economy is very weak. Why? We don't like to say it or write it in books, but women are really the custodian. They are really the custodians of family wealth.
Yeah.
The people you can trust most with. I'm not saying all women. I'm just comparing both genders if you are to compare. You have to compare. Who generally keeps money safer? Who started table banking? Who started the circle? Who started the groupings? Who groups more? Who are those who have been buying things, furniture at home, houses at home, plots, with little income to work with? Who responds to emergencies by paying the fees and situations quietly while they have less to work with? We know it, we just don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
The first cultural bias I want you to disagree with is those cultures that discourage men from being romantic. They just encourage them to dominate at home and be a lion, to roar and to sit there. And there's a special chair at home for dad, and a special cup, and a special, there's something special corner for dad, and everything is like a lion. When he comes home, everybody changes behavior.
Yes. And his work is only to provide.
They annoys me, man. The biggest seat, dads. The biggest cup, dads. The biggest plate.
Yes.
So men were given this demigod status. That culture, if you borrow it, you will lose. You will lose, my brother, on being the king you're supposed to become. Only cowards want to assert their dominance among the people they're supposed to lead, connect with, befriend, play with. Cowards can't be kings. Remember, arrogance is a weak man's imitation of strength. Let me repeat. Only the weak think arrogance is strength. Being stiff and distant. Somebody gets drunk, coming and say, "This is my home." Who are you telling? Obvious things are never in question. Nobody asserts the obvious. Do you ever tell people, "I am a man"?
No.
It's obvious. If you had to say it, there would have been a debate about it, isn't it?
Yes.
You're trying to clarify a debate. Nobody announces the obvious. If you have to announce it, it's already in doubt. I am a man, this is my home. We mean there's a doubt whether you're a man. There's a doubt whether really this is your home, whether you're in charge. Yeah. You get it? I want you to befriend your woman. This is against your culture. Be friends with your woman. Don't be her boss, her master, to issue orders. Women were refused from working and developing their skills. They're supposed to stay home and babysit and just cook and clean. They were not supposed to be seen. I want you to be very careful. Your woman can save you. And I told you, dictators knew the women would help them. Dictators, bad people. Pilate was told by his wife, have nothing to do with that man. Yeah. Don't touch him. I saw in dreams that he's an innocent man. Henry Ford became an innovator because of the support of his wife. Napoleon Bonaparte rose because of support of his wife. When he parted with his wife, he deteriorated. Women help people behind the scenes, and they generally know and go unacknowledged. But I came to tell you a few secrets as a man. Get a woman you can befriend. Probably if you can't chat the way we are chatting the woman, don't marry her. Don't. Even if you like her lies. I know the reason. You like her chest. You can't get your eyes off her.
Yes.
The things we consider when marrying are sickening.
True.
They're sickening. Men are signing deals because of sitting allowance. Get a lady, yes, she should be physically beautiful. But that should not be the only reason you're marrying her. I want you, when you bring us a lady, you ask her, man, what is it about this girl? Ah, man, that girl, we can talk endlessly, man. She engages my mind, man. She helps me see another perspective, man. She helps me think. Let me tell you another sad fact. In this world, not very many people you can trust, except your wife. Okay, I know I'm also your friend, and I'm not trying to skin you. I'm not trying to plot against you behind your back, but I can't be with you 24/7.
True.
I can't be as available to you. I have my own life.
Yes.
I love you very much, but not that much. After work, I have to go to my own stuff.
Yes.
Your woman is the only. It's hard to believe, but it's true.
Yeah.
The only person who has interest in your well-being 24/7. Who you can call when you're in an emergency, they drop everything and come. Who, when you're in an hospital bed, they drop their life and come to your aid. Who can stop everything to bring you food because you're hungry? There's a time I forgot to eat. Men can forget many things. I have a supernatural ability to forget. When I was when I was young, I went to the market and forgot the bicycle there. So in the evening, they're looking for a bike. I'm unconcerned. Then somebody remembered. But this guy went to the market with a bike. Oh, me? No, okay. I went back and found it where I left it, outside the shop. Another time I bought a camera and forgot it on the drawer. My personality is usually out there. It's divided between now and there. Or intuitive people. They're personalities that are partially absent-minded throughout. It's official for us. You may use it to dismiss people. Your castles in their ass. That's who we are. Intuitive people are always building castles in there. Later on, they hope to put foundations under the castle and make it a real one. But I came to learn. I never used to know what it is. But when I understood personality, we have either observant or intuitive, N or S. So observant people are hands-on, present, here and now. And they're very hands-on. Intuitive people are hands-off. They are into possibilities. When you say something, they try to see what they can connect it with, what it can possibly become, how they can extrapolate it. So because they're always building something, seeing this and connecting, there's a part of them that is not here. So I was holding the camera when I went to the studio. When I printed the photos, I held so my hand is still holding something. And I lost the camera. So one day I forgot to eat and I went to work. But then the hunger strike. There's some people who become hungry gradually. Others become hungry at once. Okay? Imagine you are talking and suddenly, oh my God, I'm hungry. So my wife dropped everything to bring me food. Because I didn't want to I don't want to go back the traffic and all that. Let me try. I'm just working for 5 hours. But hey, I'm struggling. She could hear. No, you know you did not eat. I know you will not work. So I sat to myself and asked, who else, Brahma, can stop their life to bring me food? Only your wife.
Yeah.
Don't let any cultural bias make you reduce her, demote her to somebody below you. Keep that woman as your friend, your companion in reality. And that's a woman who can count on you when she has an emergency on the road. With a car, you can stop everything and run to her rescue. I want you to know that your woman was meant to be the one who goes down to the fight of life with. She cannot be that one to marry her. If you let the position of your wife be occupied by an opponent or a person to manage, a person who brings crisis after crisis. Some people exist in drama.
Yeah.
One drama after another after another. I want a woman whom you can trust so much, you can do life with practically. One cultural bias of making you think a woman is your subject is wrong. And most modern, self-actualized, self-assured women are labeled badly by people who are holding to those traditions. Because they were supposed to get married and be deposited at home with the cows. Imagine. Now is the man to come occasionally.
Yes.
And if she's summoned to the city by the king, she comes to the city. Today the women are helping us pay bills.
Yeah.
Today the women are helping us make plans. Remember, the same cultures that have held women back are still behind economically, globally. We are behind. As a family, if you want to move ahead, make your woman your team member. Let me flip the script. There's another bias taught to the women about men, which hold them back and subjects them to the worst form of abuse. Society tells women it is their responsibility to make the marriage work. They're supposed to be accommodating, or to forgive, or to hold it there, or to fight for their marriage, not to let another woman come into their house, not to let the man be taken by another woman. So she's made to think it is her against the world. That she's supposed to protect the woman, to possess the man like it is an asset, as if he does not have choices himself to make. Yeah. There are women who keep thinking like being called single, being called a divorcee, it's stigmatizing. Brahma, let me tell you, nobody can put you down without your permission. Yeah. Nobody can make you feel bad about yourself without your permission. Tell women to stop buying this idea that you should stick it out there. That's what shows you're a woman. You should stick it out there. No. The right perspective is you need to be respected, be loved genuinely, be the promises that you bought into. When you're getting married, you're marrying promises, marrying a commitment. You're signing up. We're getting to life to do the two of us. If the person married you to be the two of you, they start introducing another person, check out. Don't let society telling you, oh, so you left another woman. It is him who chose another woman. Never call up women to quarrel them about your husband. He is not a goat or a cow. These songs I was telling you that are praising a woman singing to another woman, that I'm coming to your home now, I'm your co-wife. Never address other women. Don't join the cat fight. The person who married you, who you signed up with, deal with that one. And if it starts disrespecting you, let's repeat it by saying primarily that nobody can disrespect you and love you at the same time. I don't know why this is so hard for people to figure out. A person who loves you will first hold you in high regard and honor your person and hold you with dignity. They will not treat you in a demeaning way. Brahma, in this life, whether it is for your boss, whether it is for marriage, I don't want you to allow anybody to disrespect you. It is an insult to your person, to your personality, to your integrity, to your conscience, to your name as a human being. For a person to put you down, what do you think you are? No. Why is that person? What are they doing in your life? Who are they? Brahman, if your boss insults you tomorrow, I give you permission to walk out immediately.
Thank you.
And as you walk out, tell God that you will never worship another human being.
Yeah.
Never let a pharaoh mistreat you. In fact, one sign that it's time to move on is when people start disrespecting you subtly.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they start taking your services for granted. Sometimes I want you to let people miss you. Sometimes you need to let people taste life without you. Sometimes you need to let people see when you are not there, what are they missing? If they never see that, they may begin to underestimate and think, Bramwell, we will get another one. We'll get another one. As you work for people, don't let them think they own you. You have value. You have value that you can sell elsewhere. And Bramwell, I would rather you sleep hungry for 2-3 days or borrow a few things here while protecting your integrity than staying with a person just because they're feeding you and harassing you. I want you to keep it in mind. I want you to decide early enough and where you're going in life that nothing is worth me getting out of character for, being mistreated for. So the other concept about cultural biases. So we have said as a man, don't let culture tell you that you own the woman. Your partners. Don't let the culture tell you as a woman, if you leave the marriage, you have failed, If the man chooses another woman, the marriage is gone.
Yeah.
If he disrespects, start taking me for granted, start treating me like a disposable thing, the thing is gone. I am capable of living on my own. Don't let society tell you, you're miserable, you're divorcee, you're being rejected, you're not useful, nobody likes you, nobody wants you. Don't let society push you to a corner as a woman. The other bias I want you to be very careful with. So there are some people who think you must get a boy for you to have inheritance.
Yeah.
You must get a woman who can birth you a boy. You must, even the children themselves. You must have children for your marriage to have meaning. Look in the West. People like President Obama, they don't bother too much about these petty things. They're happy to have a child. Yeah. Whichever child. Is it a healthy child? Thank you. Brother, can you please update your beliefs and refuse those pressures that you must get a boy? You want a child who is healthy, brother. Let me tell you the right kind of a child to hope for. When you pray God, don't even insist on a boy. Don't specify gender too much, brother. Why do you want a boy? The reasons you want a boy is because you imagine he will be a very nice boy.
Yes.
Let me remind you, 9 out of 10 of my teenage counseling of the youth I'm brought to are boys. Majority of the people I'm trying to correct are boys. I also want you to Google a little bit of correctional facilities and gender percentage. Please also check prison, the population in prisons. You might consider changing your mind. Also, you can pass by mental hospitals. Conduct a few research before you. God, I want a boy. I believe boy. I'm not saying boy. I'm asking. I'm saying leave it to God to measure.
Yeah.
The grace you have and give you the right gender, the right personality.
Yes.
I don't specify the gender I want. I tell God, give me the child whom you will give me the grace to raise, connect with, shape well for the world.
Mm-hmm.
Boys are twice as demanding. Boys, for the man, you must be hands-on. You can't leave them at home with the mother. Mm-hmm. Brother. Don't let society push you that you must get a boy and you have no time for him. Boys are twice as demanding. I told you when the boy is 2, you change their house. Are we together?
Yeah.
You remove the water dispenser, you raise the TV, you close the switches, you install other locks, the seat, the washroom seat. You can you imagine locking? You buy a potty, he takes it apart to see what is inside. Yeah. Can you please consult around before you start fantasizing? People only see the boy on Facebook, on photo, and they think boys are okay if you have the grace for them. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine has 2 sons, and he told me he knew from the word God that raising a boy was a calling, not just a father. Mm-hmm. He knew from the word God because the mother and the boy are different people. The father must come in. The mother and the boy are different people. Apart from breastfeeding and feeding, you know male language.
Yes.
I'm not saying single mothers can't raise boys alone. We have been instructing them how to compensate instead of staying in abuse. Mm-hmm. But ideally, Brahman, you as a man, be there for your boy. Raising a boy requires closeness. Raising a daughter also requires closeness, but girls assist you in emotional connection because naturally women are more emotionally attuned.
Yes.
They can say, Dad, I miss you, boys. How long since you told your father that you miss him? No, I was just conducting a random opinion. But it's easy to tell your mother that.
Yeah.
It's easy. It comes almost natural. The emotional language, how men connect, is very subtle and requires regularity. You don't leave a gap with the boys. They'll be carried away by any group. The drug group, the other group, the solution, the code. There's a code to raising boys right. Mm-hmm. There's a mother called Zeruiah who raised 3 mighty men in the Bible. Asahel, Abishai, men who are so mighty. And Joab, they were the mighty men of David. And they were brothers. All right?
Yeah.
When people hear Zeruiah, they don't want to imagine it's a woman. As I told you, that culture was very patriarchal.
Yeah.
So they suppress the success of women. Go and study the genealogy in Matthew 1, mm-hmm. that there are 3 women there. And Jews were like Africans. They only picked the surname that is male. God, from the word go, has always lifted women. Mm-hmm. They caught 2 people having sex and they brought only the woman to be punished. And said, we caught her in the very act. Okay, she was doing the act with who? Because the accusers are men. They'll accuse the woman. Mm-hmm. It's Jesus who saved her. And from there established this thing of giving women strength. In fact, many of the people who Jesus healed were women, but did you notice majority of men, he only healed them of vision. Many of the miracles Jesus performed on men involved vision. It's just a funny statistic. I'm throwing it to you. It's philosophy class. Go and tell me whether you find it funny.
The way you can't think of it.
Be careful. There was a woman with a bend, but majority of vision issues,
man,
and one needed to be touched. The first touch, he saw people looking like trees. Mm. So it's to tell you, generally, I want you to avoid thinking that there's a particular child, gender that will prove that you're masculine. Yeah. Nothing. Better to have a well-to-do girl let me finish by telling you another society. Your ethnic group is likely to think a childless marriage is an empty marriage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they will harass you. They will keep thinking it's something pending. It's unfortunate. We don't know what happened. Were you bewitched? Come, we go to be prayed for. Mm-hmm. What can we do? Is that something we can? They treat it like a crisis. People think when they don't get a child, God is unfair to them. Sometimes God is evaluating your life and seeing you have no space for a child.
Yeah.
He's doing you a favor. Brahman, right now we are fathering. As we talk, we are bringing up kids.
Yeah.
As we talk, we are mentoring.
Yes.
Haven't you seen people saying, you are the uncles we never had?
Mm-hmm.
These are the conversations I needed with my dad. Don't interpret child just biologically. Be wide. Open up. Flow with God. What if you influence more lives?
Yes.
What if you change more lives? Mother Teresa changed many children without having a home.
Yeah.
We don't know children of Nelson Mandela, but all Africa, we regard ourselves as children, the father figure. Be open-minded, brother. Don't force issues. Let God. You can see people who have children and the child is a sore place. Mm-hmm. The child is a headache. Do you want that?
No.
God may have weighed and seen that you are better off. You are better off fathering without blood, by bond, by chemistry, by teaching. Surely we all desire children, we want to enjoy and it's okay. But when the child comes, regard it as a gift, not a right, not an entitlement. I strongly encourage those who have not gotten a child, consider other methods. There's another child who is crying somewhere for parents. You are crying for a child. Do the link up. Mm-hmm. You can adopt and tell God, give us a child who will be as good as ours. Sometimes it's your biological, sometimes it's reason, sometimes it's your passage in life. Brother, faith means believing without evidence. When you have faith in God, you release yourself to his hands, to his path. That say, God, if you give us a child, any gender, we just want a healthy child who will be a blessing to the world, not a headache to us. Number two, God, if you give us a child, sometimes set standards. Say, God, if you're going to give me a child, God, I want them to be a child of destiny. A child who will change, who will bring joy to us and who will bless the world. I don't want a headache. I don't want from rehab to rehab. And it's not to say those who move from rehab to rehab failed. No. Sometimes people make their own bad choices. You raise the child well and they did not go the right way. It's not you to blame. I should not die of depression because of that. And some people reform later. They become rebellious for some years. Later on they change. So don't give up. Don't quit as a parent. But it's to say, God, I'm here to serve your purpose on earth. And I will follow the kind of parenting you designed for me. I am ready for your guidance. But as well, he gave you a room. Don't go into marriage, then quickly you're getting a child without planning, quickly you're getting pregnant without thinking, quickly you're doing, and then the child comes as a surprise. God wants to collaborate with you, partner. After you've done your part, remember the verse, after you have done everything that the crisis requires, stand firmly in your place. After you have done your duties, stand firmly in your place. Let God do his duties. And in case he does not grant you, or he grants you this gender or the other, be happy. God give us a healthy child who will have a good life. And if there's a healthy situation, will help us manage it. And for whatever purpose, be that open. You'll be surprised how eagerly God was waiting for that kind of people to take them to next levels. How eagerly. Most people are bound by societal requirements for a child, and another one, for a child, for this, the other. God is looking for people who are not bound.
Yeah.
Who are looking to him to guide. And now probably he can give you, I'll teach you these lessons later, but there's some missions God is not, what you're doing now, Brahman, if you defy, another will be given the work. God wants the work done. And you have a free will, which God does not want to take away and make you a robot. He's hoping you cooperate. Should you stop cooperating, what I'm doing can be given another to do.
Yes.
Don't think you're too special, that you have monopoly over the show, over the guide, over the work you're doing, over your calling. God is more concerned about the task to get done. And he's giving you a chance. Okay? Yes, my brother.
I like that, Benjamin. Benjamin, I don't know if you've realized there is another bias that young men and women have believed for so long. My money is my money, his money is our money, especially ladies.
See, Bramwell, it's very important about money. Money is a very emotional issue.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be selfish and materialistic and avoid marrying such women. They may not tell you, but you will see it in their attitude. They may not say it directly, but what they comment on Facebook, what they support. Be careful what people support online. Are we together?
Yes.
The philosophies is prescribed to beliefs determine behavior. Don't wait to see the behavior. Once you see the belief, that's all. One lady told me the guy and his friends believe that women should be disciplined by beating when they misbehave.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling her, beliefs determine behavior. He's telling you when you misbehave, when he perceives you to have misbehaved, how you will be disciplined. You already know it now. Don't say you were surprised. You saw it.
You saw it, yeah.
When you're a woman, you see that she believes she's in those groups. Bramwell, it's good to leave women alone by seeing the company they keep.
Mm-hmm.
That's not petty. That's very wise. Are we together?
Yeah.
Even if herself she's a sweet person, but she's keeping company with women you can't stand, whose ideas about life are obnoxious,
Mm-hmm.
who generalize how men are dogs, and that's her friend. There's a side of her that relates to this kind of woman.
Yeah.
There's things they share. They have a commonality. Even if you can't see it now, it's coming. The fact that your woman cannot choose what mindset to keep company means she's open to anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be struggling between your influence and the influence of those women. Keep off. We're not saying particularly, I'm talking about attitudes.
Yes.
Not family situation. Okay, we'll talk about this later, but sometimes women are divorced or they moved away or you yourself moved away from bad marriage. That does not say anything about your character.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, sometimes you walked out to protect your dignity and to safeguard your mental well-being and perhaps the well-being of your children. All right? That doesn't, never say divorcees are like this. That is nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
That is purely history, and you never know who was wrong for the divorce or for whatever. Look at people at their attitude. So I'm describing the attitudes of the women the woman keeps.
All right.
Yes.
There you have it, guys. Unfortunately, we have to end the show, but this is a conversation that we have to continue. Remember, there are so many biases that you and I believe, and in one or the other, might be working against us. Now you know. Thank you for watching The Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.